Secretary of the Chemistry Department, and Matt
Collier, member of the Biological Environmental Science Department.
The goal for this is just to tell you about our summer research programs a little bit and get rid of these cookies. So we still have to continue down. But first, I'm just going to tell you about the Chemistry Department. There's a lot of similarities between our research programs. We'll try to highlight a few of the differences as we go. I think both of us have basically 10-week research projects that we're doing in any of the departments. You're going to be working about 37 hours per week. Stipend, regardless of where you're working, is $5,000 for the summer in chemistry. We're the American Chemical Society certified program, and so one of the things that's part of our accreditation is that students that do research with us need to turn in a report and have a poster. So that's part of the requirements of our program. A lot of our students will present those posters at professional meetings, and we'll pay for that as well, but that's not a requirement of the program. It is something we'd like you to do if you're interested. Campus housing, we're paying for that for, I think, campus housing is calling it term 3. So it's basically a 12-week block that starts about the Monday after graduation. It goes about 12 weeks out from that. That's what the department pay for. If you need additional time in housing, then you have to work that out without campus housing yourself. Right? But that should cover you for some of that 12-week block. In chemistry, we've got pizza lunches, usually on Fridays, which there's obviously pizza, although not always. Sometimes we mix it up and have other things, like Chinese or something, on Pizza Fridays. But we also talk about at those, how to do a presentation, how to write a seminar research paper, how to read the literature, what graduate school's like in sciences, those sorts of things. We also discuss at the meetings. The other thing we do with those is report on what you've learned about your project so far. So if you get scheduled to do that in late June, we probably don't have a lot of results yet, but you can at least tell people why your project is interesting, why it's important, what some of the techniques are that you're using. If you get to present closer to the end of July, then you actually get to have results by then. You can tell us about the results in the next week. Right? But that's part of those weekly lunches. We also do tea and cookies because we like cookies and tea and hanging out with one another. So we do that, I think, usually on Tuesday afternoons to get to spend a little bit more time together. I already mentioned presenting results at meetings, but we do pay registration to the meeting and travel, housing, things like that if you go to those meetings. The great majority of our students do choose to go to meetings and present their results. Not all of them do. Several of you, I think, are signed up to go to Indianapolis in March for the ACS meeting, which will be fun. The other thing that if you are a freshman or sophomore in the Connections curriculum, you have one of the options for that is the EXPR 100, and so you can get credit for that. You just have to write a short reflection and get credit for that Gen Ed component. We're going to briefly go through and talk about, so this is our department up here in the upper right corner, and each of us are going to just briefly talk about our research. So we're arranged alphabetically. Most of us are here. Dr. Klein will go first.
Hi, I'm Dr. Klein. I'm an analytical chemist, so I mostly like to work with instruments and develop methods for analyzing things. So two main projects have to do with modifying electrodes and using them for some kind of chemical analysis. And then also we have a brand new GC mass spec, gas chromatograph mass spectrometer in the department that we're still trying to learn how to use better. So I've got a project in mind for that one this summer.
Hi, Ray Dudek. While I teach physical chemistry, I mostly do analytical chemistry on trees and food, and I'm going to continue that this summer.
Dr. Beeland is here with us this afternoon, but she is working on a couple of different projects. One of them is forensic chemistry. The other is some computational modeling of the optical properties of gemstones. So That's a fun project. You can read about that. In any of our projects, we talk about those on some sheets of paper that are over there, kind of by the exit. And on the other side of that's information about the department. I'm Dr. Kosnek. I'm an organic chemist, and most of my research has to do with measuring the effectiveness of some workshops that I run over the summer that are NSF sponsored for improving faculty effectiveness in the classroom. So we try to measure kind of pre and post how faculty attitudes and knowledge and what they actually do in the classroom changes. So that's my area of research.
Danny Maroos. Most of our projects that I work on have to do with antibiotic resistance, but there's also some projects doing with essential oils that we started a couple years ago. So either one of those, I'm happy to talk to people more about the details of those if that sounds like it would be interesting to you.
If you're interested in our projects, do grab a sheet of paper that gives you a little bit more detail about those, and then come by our, email us, come by our office to talk more about the projects and find out what to do next. So in terms of applying, the process in chemistry is that the applications are going to be due on March 20th, so that's after we get back from spring break. It is important that you meet with faculty to talk to us about our projects before you apply, so that you're not completely surprised that you want to do research with us. The applications are on Handshake. There is also a paper version of the applications that you can fill out instead if you, for some reason, want to. Those are on the yellow paper that's over there. But on that, one of the things it's going to ask you is to rank your top 3 choices for who to do research with. Typically we try to get people matched with their first choice faculty advisor, right? But if you're like, yeah, antibiotics are pretty cool, but so are gemstones, and you'd be happy to work with either Dr. Bruce or Dr. Evelyn, I can give you a chance to list that. If you're interested in both of those. And describing your research interest is important because you'd like to know what area of the project of the research you're interested in, right? So for example, with Dr. Evelyn, she's got a forensic chemistry project and a computational project with gemstones. And those are very different projects. And so she would like helpful for her to know which of those you're interested in if you're interested in working with her. And why you want to do research. You are asked what dates are available. Typically, some of us start that Monday right after graduation. Others of us take a week or 2 off. And a lot of that depends as well on what students want to do. Right? So if you want to take some time off between finals and starting research, or if you want to jump right into it, let us know that. And then usually we try to wrap it up at the latest by that first week of August, so that there's at least a little bit of a break between then and when the school will start. But let us know in there what dates work for you. If there's dates that you know you've got a family vacation scheduled, again, that's useful information for us as we're trying to plan the summer. And then once the applications are in on March 20th, we're going to try to turn those around pretty quickly and get back to students with our decisions as far as who we can accept and who you would be working with and make that offer as quickly as we can. So that's the process. This little QR code should take you directly to the Handshake website where you can do the electronic application. This is the group that we had doing research last summer. We typically have between 10 to 12 students each summer. We would certainly welcome you talking with any of them about what the experience was like, what they liked about it, what maybe they didn't like so much, whether they think it'd be worth doing research. They'd be happy to talk with you about any of that. A few of them, or actually I think just Maya, maybe it's just Maya, would be happy to talk to all of you all at once about how awesome research is and whether or not you should do it. The other thing that we wanted to make sure to mention to you, as well, is that there are research opportunities outside of Woodford. And so the NSF has some of those. If you just Google NSF REU, they'll take the first thing you hit is a list of the REU sites through the NSF. choose the discipline, you can choose what state you want to look at, or you can just look through all of them. Those are good opportunities. And some of those deadlines have already passed, so use those. But others are, as late as March 1st, and maybe even March 15th that the applications are due. But again, you need to be getting on those. Talk to the faculty that you want to be a recommendation for that, so we can write letters for you. But it's also serve the UROC program, so 2 other things to search. If you want to look for research opportunities outside of Bloomberg, again, the deadlines vary dramatically for those. But there's lots of really neat opportunities for research outside of Bloomberg as well. So we want to encourage you to look at those and ask questions, let us know how we can help. So I think with that,